Hey, I saw that you just called. Was it something important this time? Listen, my work's really busy right now. I can't afford to be on the phone for every little thing. It better be important.
No, it's nothing super important. I just wanted to check up on you. You've just been working so hard and I'm sure it's taking its toll on you.
Yep, I'm busy.
Yeah? And how are you doing?
I'm just busy, Lillian.
Just busy, huh?
What do you want me to say? Even texting you right now is taking away from my work. Every time I stop, it kills my concentration.
Well, I'm sorry, it's just I feel like we never talk anymore. Is there a better time when I could call you? Like, when are you gonna be done with work today?
It's gonna be past midnight by the time I finish tonight. As much as I'd love to reconnect, I can't do it tonight. You've gotta realize what I'm dealing with over here, Lillian.
Okay, then how about on your day off? Would Saturday or Sunday work?
I don't know if I'm gonna be free on the weekend. I'll let you know, okay?
You don't know?
God, you're persistent, aren't you? I said I'd tell you when I know. Get that through your thick skull.
God, that wasn't necessary, Fletcher. It would just be nice if we could talk a bit more. That's all I really want to say.
Okay, I will let you know. Bye. Lillian, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Oh, Fletcher. Hi. Yes, of course. What is it?
I've been thinking a lot lately. About us, our situation, everything.
Yeah? And?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've been having doubts about our relationship for a while.
Doubts? What kind of doubts?
Doubts like, are we meant to be together? Would we be better with other people? Those kind of doubts.
What? This came out of nowhere. Why didn't you tell me you were having these feelings before? We could have talked about it in person when we were still living together. Anyway, whatever it is, we can work it out. I know it.
Lillian, I want a divorce.
A divorce?
Yes. I think it would be best for us. I've been thinking about this long and hard. It has not been an easy decision to come to.
Okay then. That's fine.
Excuse me?
I wonder where we would do it. I guess at the city hall, right? That's usually where you do these sorts of things. Since we're apart though, it may be faster just to send in the form. Yeah, that's right. If we both just send the form in, we can do this without even having to meet, right? That would be the best way.
Lillian, you did hear what I said, right?
Yeah? You want a divorce? I heard you.
Then, how come you're so gung-ho about this all of a sudden? Have you thought about this at all? I know I came to this decision after a long time, but it seems like you're totally fine with it.
It's what you want, isn't it? I respect that. If it's what you want, then there's no other choice, right?
Well, I know, but still. I'm just surprised about how okay with it you are. Like, no part of you wants to try and persuade me to change my mind? Remember, we're a married couple. This isn't something that you can decide so quickly.
I don't get it. You said let's get a divorce, and I was just trying to honor your decision. I completely accept it. What's so strange about that?
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong then.
Perfect. All right, if you could just start off with the paperwork on your end, and I'll do the same.
Okay. Are you sure it's okay? You don't want to hear what I have to say first?
No, you don't need to explain it. I get it. This is what you want, so it's best to get it moving without dwelling on it for too long.
Yeah, but Lillian, you haven't worked for a couple years, right? Are you really gonna be okay? Like, money-wise and everything. I just want to check that side of things at least.
Oh, I have some savings. I should be able to return to my old company. I'll have to ask them, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
So, are you telling me that you've already been planning for this? It's like you knew it was gonna happen.
It's always smart to be prepared for these kinds of things, you know? That way, I don't run into any big trouble. Also, it makes everything smoother for you, too, right?
Well, I guess so, but I'm kinda having second thoughts after talking about this with you.
Oh, don't worry about me. It's really fine. I'm not gonna hold you back from doing what you want. Go for it!
Lil, don't you think you're reacting to this a bit strangely? Like, it almost seems as if you're kind of excited or something. Were you waiting for me to bring this up?
Yeah, of course I'm kind of excited.
Huh?
Fletcher, I get it. You've probably wanted a divorce for a while. I'm fine with giving you what you want. Anyway, I'll get on those documents and send them right over. Time is of the essence.
Okay. Lillian, what's going on? Just to let you know, I haven't submitted the papers for the divorce. I thought we could still talk about it, but it seems like my parents already know about this somehow. Do you have any idea how they found out about that?
Oh, of course they know. I submitted the papers myself. After that, I let them know what was going on.
What? Don't you think you should have run that past me before you talked to my parents? And I didn't fill anything out. You can't just submit one side of the papers for this type of thing. Can you?
Remember when we had that big fight a couple months ago when you were back to visit? At that time, you filled out your side of the papers. You even said that if things get bad, they're ready to submit. So I just used those ones. I hope that's okay.
Okay. What the hell, Lillian? Those papers weren't supposed to be submitted without my permission. What's gonna happen now? Are we really getting divorced?
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Why would you do something like that behind my back?
What do you mean? All I did is turn in the papers that you had already filled out. Of course, I also filled out my side of the documents. And I don't get why you're so confused. You were the one who brought it up in the first place. Were you not being serious when you said that?
Well, I was the one who brought it up, but I didn't actually expect it to progress this swiftly. I thought maybe there was a chance we could discuss things and come to some kind of compromise. But you went and did that.
I just thought that's what you wanted. And I had to tell your parents. They've looked after me so much over the years, so I really owed it to them to at least let them know. Can you imagine not telling them?
If we were ready to get divorced, then yeah, I think we would need to talk to them too. But I didn't think we were at that point yet. Why would you just fast forward the situation so much by doing something like that?
What's the point in waiting if it's something that we've both come to terms with? Waiting and mulling something over and over in your mind is a huge waste of time. You've got to agree with that, huh?
What the hell, Lillian? Why'd you have to tell them? Now it's gonna be near impossible to give them a reasonable explanation when we get back together.
Get back together?
Yeah, and we will. We just need to continue working on our differences and we'll be fine. I know it.
Oh, but Fletcher, it's far too late for that. And your parents seemed supportive of the idea. When I told them, they asked if I was planning on getting married. Can you imagine that? They said they were rooting for me to find someone good after the two of us didn't work out. You do have really kind parents, Fletcher.
My parents said that. Are you serious? Oh my God, Lillian. How did this happen so fast? I never even wanted to get a divorce. I know I might have said it once or twice in the past, but at the end of the day, it's not something I want.
Oh yeah? Then why would you say it?
Okay, I'll level with you, but promise not to judge me, okay?
No judgment over here. Go ahead.
Well, to tell you the truth, there's a lot of single guys at my company right now. You see, after hiring season, 3 new guys just started. We go out for beers and they talk about their single life, and I felt a bit jealous. They're all in their 20s, fresh out of university, living the life. This one guy, Jake, he's a real cool guy. He's really into working out, drives a truck, the whole 9. Well, me and Jake went out one night and he starts talking to me.
Okay.
He starts telling me that one of the girls in our office has a thing for me. See, I would never cheat, but the idea just had my head spinning. Like, how could a 20-something-year-old smoke show like her dig a mid-30s salesman like me?
What does this have to do with anything?
Hold on, I'll get to it. Anyway, this girl actually joins me and Jake at the bar. We start having drinks. Things are going well, and then Jake tells me something.
What did he say?
He just tells me, "Fletch, imagine if you were single. You would slay out here." Or something like that.
God, how pathetic. Getting swooned by compliments from a 20-year-old, huh?
I didn't even get to the most important part yet. That female coworker was coming on to me. Like, hard. But I said, "No, I'm married." I thought of you, Lil. I thought of everything we've been through. I thought I would never give that up for some stupid fling. So, that's the only reason why I said those things. I was just getting caught up in my 20-year-old mind. Some stupid delusion. I was listening too much to my coworkers when I should have just been listening to myself. But I've snapped out of it now. I'm here for you, and I want to make this work.
Oh, isn't that a sweet story? It doesn't seem like you're all that committed if you're getting all jealous of your single work buddies. And telling me your smoke show coworker was coming on to you hardly makes me feel really confident about our relationship.
Lil, that's what I'm saying. Even with all that, I didn't budge. I'd never do that to you. You can trust me.
Sorry, Fletch. It doesn't matter. I've already filed the paperwork. The process has started.
Lillian, listen. I didn't mean to say we should get divorced. I'm sorry for making you think that. And I'm sorry for writing up the divorce papers that time. I never meant to send them off. I just felt in the moment I should have them ready, just in case. Lillian, I'm sorry. You've got to take back the divorce papers that you sent. Any way you can, try to stop the process. We can still work this out. I know it.
Like I said, it's too late. Besides, I know what you did.
Huh? What are you saying?
I know about the other woman, Fletcher. And I know that you can't go back to her anymore, so you came back to me. Not the smartest play in the book.
What? Are you kidding me? What other woman are you talking about? This is some kind of sick misunderstanding, Lil. Tell me what you heard. I'll disprove it.
It's true, Fletcher. I know it. I have sources.
Sources? Who the hell would start that kind of vicious rumor about me? Tell me, who was it?
Just sources. Anyway, the woman you were seeing apparently got pregnant. With your kid. Oh yeah, and she's married. Then, when she came to you with the news, you ran away, avoiding all responsibility. A real class act, if I do say so myself.
You've got it twisted. That's not even close to the real story. None of that was my fault.
Not your fault? So, you're admitting to it?
Listen, I might have made some mistakes in the past, but those things really don't matter. If you really knew the whole story, I know you would side with me on this. Honestly, it's nothing but a big misunderstanding. I love you, Lillian. I can make it better. I promise. You still love me too, right?
I don't really feel anything anymore.
What? How could you say that after all we've been through?
Oh, Fletcher. The past is the past. Why does it matter anymore? But now that I know what went down, I'm actually glad I found out who you really are. Imagine if I just continued on pretending like everything was fine. I'm just relieved that I found this out.
Seriously, Lillian. Who told you these baseless rumors?
Oh, I texted Caitlin.
God damn it! How did you get her number?
Easy. Remember when I borrowed your phone to make a call outside to the restaurant we went to? It wasn't hard to open a few texts and see the whole story.
God. You were out there for a while.
So, once I found out about you getting Caitlin pregnant, then running off and trying to cut ties with her, I knew I needed to get to the bottom of this.
Lillian, do not trust that woman. She was crazy about me. She wouldn't stop calling me. She was obsessed.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got her number from your phone and started texting her myself. At first, when she found out who I was, she took a more defensive approach. It sounded like she really did like you. She was saying how she was gonna steal you from me. She was all, "I'm gonna take your husband and leave you with nothing."
And you listened to her? She's crazy.
Hold on. I'm not even at the good part yet. After she tried to threaten me with that, I told her that I knew about the whole pregnancy thing involving you. She almost immediately changed her tune and started apologizing and begging me not to tell her husband.
So, what did you do?
Oh, wouldn't you love to know? Well, I had to track down her husband, Jack Trainer. After that, I told him the whole story.
No way. How in the hell did you track down her husband?
A friend of mine referred me to a private investigator. They were able to track down Caitlin's husband quite easily.
Okay, fine. I admit there was some foul play. But why would you go and hire an investigator? How are you going to pay for all this? The cost of hiring one of them is not cheap. There's no way you can get divorced with me now. I'm all you've got.
Oh, I'll be fine. I'm probably gonna sell the house. Your parents already agreed to give me the rights to it. Remember? They were the ones who actually paid for it in the first place. Quite the gesture for their eldest son and his new wife.
Hold on. My parents gave you our house?
Almost. Well, they're in the process of going over the paperwork now.
There's no way. I'm calling them as soon as I can. I've got to stop this.
I gotta say, they were not very happy about your little escapade with old Caitlin there. I wouldn't count on changing their mind.
Lillian, you can't do this. That house is all I have. Besides, I'm not going to be in Pittsburgh much longer. I'll have nowhere to stay if I come back.
You should have thought about that before you went and got a married woman pregnant and threatened to divorce your actual wife. You know what they say, though. Be careful what you wish for.
Come on, Lil. That woman was cheating on her husband, too. It was just a huge mess. You can hardly blame me for what I did.
Ah, I almost forgot. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Trainer is out looking for you. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure he is preparing some legal action for incurring damages to his family. You did impregnate his wife, after all. You're not very smart, are you, Fletch?
What? He's coming after me? What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure he's quite well off, too. So, if it does come down to a court case, it's not exactly good news for you.
Lillian, you put him up to this, didn't you? Why would you do that?
Hey, I just wanted to make things right, okay? Besides, why the hell would I protect a pathetic, lying cheater like you? Give me one good reason. I'll wait.
We are married. We love each other. These are reasons enough.
We were married. I'm not even sure if I loved you before. Anyway, it's over now. Goodbye, Fletch, you scumbag. Over the next couple months, Lillian was able to take over the house ownership from Fletcher's family in a totally legal passover of property. Fletcher returned to Lincoln, where his parents were living, and desperately tried to get his parents to change their mind about the house. However, they had already made up their mind and disapproved of what Fletcher did so much that they only saw it as fair to give the rights of the house to Lillian. Without a house to live in, Fletcher resorted to living in the apartment of one of his young, single co-workers and slept on the couch night after night. However, after a while, Fletcher had worn out his welcome, and his co-worker had no choice but to kick him out of the apartment. After that, he resorted to staying in cheap motels, which were frequented by suspicious characters in all hours of the night. As for Mr. Trainer, Fletcher was able to settle the dispute out of court. However, that only meant that he had to come up with monthly payments, which came with sky-high interest rates if he were in fact unable to pay them. Too bad. Lillian was able to make a pretty penny selling the house that Fletcher's parents had passed on to her. This allowed her to relocate to a condo in a much better location near the downtown area. There, Lillian reflected on those wasted years with Fletcher, but ultimately was relieved she got out of it relatively unscathed.